Derek Chauvin's defense team put their own medical examiner on the stand, a retired pathologist with decades of experience and hundreds of appearances in court as an expert witness. He testified heart disease and drugs led to George Floyd's death, and that Derek Chauvin's knee was nowhere near his airway.
How did the heart and drugs contribute to the cause of death?
They were significant, or they contributed to Mr. Floyd having a sudden cardiac arrest. And speaking and making noise is very good evidence that the airway was not closed.
The medical examiner who actually performed the autopsy on George Floyd testified last week that Chauvin kneeling on Floyd's neck with all the pressure and Floyd's pinning him to the ground was the direct cause of the death, even if heart disease and drugs played some role. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez, live outside the courthouse. Gabe, the cross-examination was tense today.
Yeah, that's right, Shep. The prosecution came out swinging during cross-examination. And as you mentioned, Dr. David Fowler was a former medical examiner in Maryland, and he testified that George Floyd did not die because of a lack of oxygen, but rather potentially his drug use and underlying medical condition. Now, of course, he did not examine the body, but he said that Floyd's death, in his opinion, could have been ruled undetermined because of multiple factors, including, he said, potentially carbon monoxide poisoning that was due to the exhaust coming from that police squad car. But during cross-examination, the prosecution pushed back hard, and Fowler acknowledged that he had no data to support that. He also acknowledged something else that might not be so favorable for the defense.
Are you critical of the fact that he wasn't given immediate emergency care when he went into cardiac arrest?
Yeah, as a physician, I would agree.
Now, during a motions hearing in the morning, Maurice Hall, one of the passengers in Floyd's SUV, actually appeared in the courtroom but away from the jury and argued that he should not be compelled to testify because he'd invoked the Fifth Amendment. He didn't want to incriminate himself and answer questions about Floyd's drug use. The judge actually quashed the subpoena, meaning that he will not testify. And even before that, the defense put forward a motion of acquittal, essentially saying that the prosecution did not meet its burden and the whole case should be dismissed. The judge was not buying that, and he denied that motion. More testimony for the defense is expected tomorrow, and the judge has told jurors to expect closing arguments on Monday, Shep.
Gabe, thanks. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.